Good morning, beautiful Lovetarians. This is Cecile and Natalia from, her house and my house, other known as the Lovetarian Way Studios, right, Cecile?
Right.
And today we're going to talk to you about empowering Lovetarian habits that you, could implement in the morning to get yourself really prepped for a good day, right?
Definitely. It's so great to have a morning routine. It sets the tone for the day.
That's exactly so. And I mean, everybody from scientists right now to spiritual people, they will have their own variations of mornings. However, I believe when I work with someone, I always ask what it is that you want, because that's something that we need to find out, right? Some people will say, I don't need to do anything. I can just chill in the morning, sleep as long as I want, then that's perfectly fine. But another person will want to achieve still a lot of things. They will want to be very productive. They would like to be inspired. And by the way, inspiration, yes, can happen. You can also prep yourself and be open and receptive to get it, right? Easier.
Definitely. And for me personally, the morning is when I'm more productive compared to the afternoon or the evening.
Exactly.
And I think I've read some studies that I believe Sweden did some studies on that even if you are going to your job, you're more productive in the morning than in the afternoon. And for me, that's not everybody's the same, of course, but for me, that really helps to have a morning routine and be in my zone in the morning.
Well, here is the thing also, we need to consider something that is true for all of us. Well, okay, majority of us, those especially that live in Western society, that there is so much information in the field. As a spiritual being, we know everything is energy, and the amount of information that is saturating the field is huge. So what is the best time to set your tone for the day, if not the first thing you wake up in the morning before everybody else is up, right?
For me, yes, especially it helps me with my mood, even though I'm waking up happy or feeling grateful. It helps me even more to set the tone for the day, to get me more in the mood, get me more in my groove, and accomplish more.
Yeah.
Not only work-wise, but also spiritual-wise, personally-wise, everything. I accomplish more.
So let's talk specifically about something that people can actually do to get themselves going. So an average person that has still an idea to have a very productive day, not just somebody who just wants to chill. We're not talking to you guys, you do your thing. You don't need any habits. If you want to lie on the beach all day long, blessings, awesome. We're talking about people who want to still produce something, want to leave a legacy, maybe achieve goals, and really focus on inspired action. And that requires that you make space for yourself in a day, especially if you have kids, you need to deal with much more than a person who doesn't, right?
Definitely. There is the morning rush. It's literally rush hour in our house. It's getting up, getting dressed, getting everybody breakfast, and rushing off to school, walking to school, coming back, and then it's like, hoo-yah. For me, it starts a little bit earlier. I try to wake up a little bit earlier because I'm not a person who is amazingly yet at getting up very early in the morning. But
do you want to? That's the question. I mean, do you want to? Because everybody has different priorities, right? So what is it that you want? Because not everybody maybe wants that.
It's not that I don't want it. I've tried it multiple times, but my body is just really tired during then 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's why I sleep until at least 7:30. Then when I wake up, I do my gratefulness. I do my reading. Reading, I mean, like my heart rate variability. So when I'm doing that reading, that takes 5 minutes. I tell myself what I'm grateful for, what I woke up for, that I'm grateful that I woke up, that I have so many blessings during the day. I have an awesome recording when we were doing our coaching together, where you told me where you made me a recording about descending my light and shining my light. And then when I get out of bed, even when I'm under the shower, I'm still talking to myself what I'm grateful for, what an amazing day, what I'm gonna do today. And of course, I start for myself with some lovely gifts, but that's just for personally me. I draw angel cards in the morning. And then it gives me, for example, if I draw a card, today is balance. And then here I have a description in it that comes with the card. I get a description, I read that to myself. That's what I do with some other cards. I have the Divine Feminine Oracle cards. Oops. That helps me. And then in the morning, when I walk into my living room or in the living room, I have this amazing tarot calendar with quotes on it from Louise Hay. I got that as a present from you as well. What makes me very happy, because those are my routines. And I just get affirmation after affirmation, and I'm like, yeah, in the flow. And then I can literally, I feel like I'm on top of the world.
So that sets your tone and your vibration really high, and you enjoy it. Yeah. Does it give you direction for your day? Does it help you achieve your goals? Or do you even set some, like a plan for a day, or you're just going with the flow? How is that for you?
For me, I'm going with the flow, and I set a plan after I've dropped off the kids to school. Then I'm behind or in the kitchen preparing my breakfast because I eat after the kids went to school. Then I'm thinking of, okay, this is what I'm going to do work-wise. This is what I want to do in my house. This is what I want to do on self, what do you call that? Development.
Personal development, yeah.
Personal development, yeah.
So, we have a different variation of the morning routine. What I actually would like to recommend for everybody is to read that book. You don't have to exactly implement what they are saying. 5 a.m. Club. This is for people who want to live what is called the extraordinary life and to be the master, basically. And mastery, as we know, in every area of our lives requires a little bit of sacrifice, period. We are living in a society where everything is like, 5-minute workout, 10-minute this, quick gratification. Now, this is a book about building something that is sustainable. And how to get that? Well, they recommend to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because, if you have a business, if you have kids, if you have a lot to do, 5 a.m. would be the best time to wake up before everybody else. And then you set a time, 1 hour, that you divide into 20-minute blocks. First 20 minutes, you will go for exercise. So you literally, and this is something I implemented because I did it the other way around. And I must say, I'm on the first week of implementing this new routine, and I like it much better. And this is something I recommend for you, Cecile. I know you're going to go like, OMG. Be open or read the book. I know you are.
Oh, no, I was going to, the reason why I didn't buy it yesterday while I was texting you is because Amazon would deliver it on the time we were having a live. Yeah. So I thought I'll order it after the live so nobody interrupts.
You know what I did? Because normally I would start my morning, whatever time it was, 5, 6, 7, that depends on the season, depends. I'm blessed. I don't have to go anywhere to work. I don't have to commute. I work at home, so I can organize my day however way I want. I have chosen not to have children. So not your average person that has, a life that is set certain way. I make an order of my day, right? So I choose to get up wherever, and if I get up at 6 or 5, doesn't really make a difference in that sense. Nobody disturbs me until I want to be disturbed. So that is, and people, by the way, it's not like it just happened. I have created that life this way, right? So let's get this straight. I also went to the office before. I also had some external obligations, and then of course I would have awakened much earlier. But at this moment in time, the way we start this routine is so empowering. So what happens is that whether you choose to get up at 5, 6, or 7, you have that 1 hour for yourself, and you start when alarm rings. You jump out of bed. Why would you jump out of bed? There's such powerful neuroscience now showing us that if we snooze, our brain is literally dying and we get more tired. I mean, I love snoozing, like my alarm rings and I'm like, oh, 5 minutes or 5 minutes. I stopped that because I was tired. I was like, it's not a problem. I can sleep longer. So I stopped doing that. And I said, okay, if I'm going to do that now, if I'm going to jump out of bed, I'm going to give myself a reward later. I don't know, a piece of chocolate or, something very, very nice, right? So little incentive to get myself going. Because, this reward for doing something good is very effective. It's like literally train your brain like you would train a dog. You need to train your body for a new habit, and it has to be worth your while, right? So you get up immediately. And what I do differently to what I was doing before, I don't meditate. I don't do gratitude first. I do 20 minutes of a workout that will make me sweat. And that is crucial because cortisol level is very high first thing in the morning. So what we want to do, we want to really bring body to balance, and we want to sweat all the toxins, all the grogginess, all the stress hormones. And I swear to you guys, whatever it's going to be high intensity or some sweaty yoga, brisk walk, running, spinning, doesn't matter. It makes a huge difference. And then after those 20 minutes, you take 20 minutes to meditate, do gratitude, whatever. So I then go on my mat, and it's so beautiful when my whole body is on fire. So I will never fall asleep during my meditation since it's so early in the morning. I am still very present in my body, so I can do a meditation that I'm connecting with my higher self. I'm inviting my higher self, but I'm very much grounded in my body. So that's an extra benefit, because honestly, meditation, it's not about, you can do this kind of meditation when you're floating all over with angels, but the idea is that your life is a meditation. So you're present and mindful, right? Do you know what I mean? You understand the difference?
Definitely. For me, sometimes when I do meditation in the morning, I fall asleep.
My husband has the same thing. The moment he lies down, he's like, so we reverse the order, and it works really, really good. I was a little bit like, oh, well, I don't know if I want to do it because maybe I'm going to be too hyped. No, actually, you're not. You are just alert and present. You're a little tired from your workout, but in a very nice way. It's a different feeling because you don't do 1 hour workout. You do 20 minutes, right? So then you have the 20 minutes for your inner work, and it's really fantastic. And then the last 20 minutes you have for growth. So read a book, maybe do something, listen to some audio, something that will help you grow internally and your business, if that's what you want to do. Or maybe you want to educate yourself, right? So those are the 3 blocks. And again, you can customize it to your life. For me, for example, the last block, I don't have to do it. So I spend more time in meditation, maybe on gratitude, because my whole life after is about growth, right? And I can read books all day long if I want. But of all those routines that I learned from this book, the one that is first thing in the morning, you wake up, you jump, that will empower you like nothing else. You do not snooze. The moment you are up, whether it's alarm or you woke up yourself, out of bed and down on a mat, out somewhere within the 5 minutes, put your stuff on. So you want to prepare your gear for exercise the day before. So you don't spend 15 minutes getting ready. The whole idea is that you get going right away, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, of course, my husband's a personal trainer, so we have everything we need. And here you can see my cross trainer, which I love to stand on.
Yeah, so very easy it would be. And, like for you, you say, you might be sleepy in the morning or something. So, get the body going. And observe the difference. But here's the thing. We, again, in this society, we are used to like quick fixes. Yeah, we've been told that it takes 21 days to create a new habit. Newsflash. No, it doesn't. It takes at least 66 days. Can you believe it? We are so programmed that it really does take longer time than that. Of course, by divine grace, you can change, you can get enlightened in a second, you can receive grace like Eckhart Tolle or, I don't know, another wonderful, enlightened master, and you completely transform. Most people do need to master the change, right? I'll read you something from page 181, the habit installation protocol. I don't know if you can.
5 a.m. book?
Yes.
Cool.
You can't, well, you see that, so what it is, the first one, stage 1 is distraction. So 22 days to destroy your old habit, not 21 days to create the new habit. No, 22 days to destroy your new habit. So what happens? So you do this whole thing with getting up. So after 2-3 days, your body goes, oh no, I'm so exhausted. Oh no, it's not worth it. Like for me, for example, this is like really practicing of my will, because as I said, I don't need to do it. I want to do it. So that's kind of even worse, because it's like, why do I bother? Because I want to master my life. That's why I bother. And I know it will help me live more productive and inspired life, because people, yes, inspiration does just happen, but the clearer you are, the more inspiration comes, right? And when does it come the most? In those early hours, when you are undisturbed by all the information, by all the nonsense, by other people's business. Correct, Cecile?
Definitely. And if you look at all successful people, it doesn't matter if it is successful in wealth, but also in health, they have a routine, and everything starts in the morning. They have a morning routine.
I mean, my idea and my husband is that, we get up in the morning and we want to be, well, not yet, we love to work. However, eventually we want to be done with all the super work by lunchtime. And then we want to do, go for a walk, do some hobby, spend time together. So have the 8 hours first thing in the morning, or whatever hours, like it doesn't matter how many hours, because, we are kind of working all the time since we work online. But I'm talking about the maximum productivity, whether it's writing or it's creating or whatever, marketing work. You do this in the morning and then you just check in, right? Because we like it. So it's also different when you work for somebody or when you work for yourself. It's kind of a different dynamic, right?
Yeah, but I also must say, even though, well, I'm not sure if everybody knows, but I also work for Natalia and Joachim. But the difference is, when you love your job, I find it easier, and I really like what I'm doing, and I really don't see it as often as it is your company. I often say, yeah, mine, and I'm like, oh no, it's not mine. It's not mine.
But here is the thing, we have and always encouraged a flat structure. It's like, yes, okay, we are officially employers of Cecile. However, we always say, Cecile, you're working with me. You're not working for me. Of course, every once in a while, if she's going to do some BS, I'm going to go like, oh. But in general, like a companionship, we are partners. We are creating this whole shebang together. We are building the group together. So it's not a boss-employee relationship whatsoever. It's
totally no.
Right? And we're also friends. And, some people say friends can't work together. Not true. It's just a question of attitude, right?
And for me, I'm used to it. I still work with my dad from the moment I was 16 until now. And what happens in the office stays in the office, and outside he's my dad. But in the office, he is the owner of the company, and I work on administration. So it's totally different. And I can see that separate. Well, a lot of course, people don't see that separate. And if something happens, they hold a grudge in their personal life. And for me, that's something totally different. So I think, and for you as well, I think that's something that we've implemented. And I don't know, it's just the connection we have, and the connection I have with my other work. It's just, I don't see it as a punishment. I see it as a joy. I'm grateful for it. It's like, yeah,
Let's face it, Cecile is highly developed spiritual being having a human experience. She's not your average person that is not awakened. So she takes everything as a blessing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Cecile, okay. So I suppose you're trying, what you're doing, you are encouraging people to look at everything as a blessing, an opportunity, as opposed to an issue, and communicate. Yeah. Communication is key. I think that's the key to our success, is communication.
Yes, and of course, sometimes we don't understand each other, and it's like, huh? But then when we talk, it's like, again, communication with everything in life.
Yeah. Well, that would be like developing a habit, right? It takes, so as we said, 22 days in the book, distraction stage. You need to destroy. And some people, spiritual circles especially, they're like, ooh, I don't want to destroy anything. But why not? Have you ever not destroyed any negative habit or bad behavior, the evil within you? I mean, there's nothing wrong. Spirituality is all about creation and destruction, but you destroy to bring light. You don't destroy to destroy. You're not a psychopath, right? You destroy to make a space for something new. Look at nature's cycles, right?
Yes. And even when there's a fire, 4 years ago, we had a huge fire, remember, behind our house. And like, I don't know how many hundreds of acres have been burned. But if you see now, nature is already turned everything upside down again. And it's so beautiful, even different, beautiful than it was before. So it's just a natural cycle.
Exactly. But that's the thing. We put some negative connotation with it, and there's some pejorative meaning to destruction. But yeah, it's more about rebirthing and the natural cycle. And what does not serve us anymore needs to go, right? So to those of you Lovetarians that are all about love and light, absolutely, we are all about love and light. However, love and light requires a little bit of fire sometimes, and you need to be able to transmute, transform, destroy what needs destruction, right?
Well, look at our sign. See, I say it again, our. The sign, the butterfly, it's water and fire. Balance. And it's connected, balanced with the infinity sign.
Absolutely.
It's connected.
That's right. That's right. It's a forever circle of creation, destruction, rebirth, right? And continuum of life, infinite continuum, endless cycle. So basically you look at your life and I say, okay, how do I want to recreate myself? And you need to be willing to not buy into the BS that it will take you 5 minutes. People, life is about journey, right?
Yeah, life I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, so enjoy. Say, okay, it takes, don't get attached to the fact that it's 66 days to create a new habit, but say, well, it might take a moment and I'm willing to enjoy the process. So don't be so stuck at what is at the end of the line, because when you open to the magic of the process, it will be amazing and you can enjoy it so much more, right?
Yes, definitely. And for example, it's maybe for people a weird, how do you call it? I don't know how to say it, but for example, you're 9 months pregnant. The reason why are you 9 months pregnant is because your body needs to develop a different human inside of you. It's not that you're pregnant and within 2 weeks it's like, I have a baby, I'm done. That's the same with everything in life. It takes time. There are no quick fixes.
Yeah, and if you do a quick fix, then sooner or later you will find out that there is some backlash to it, right?
Yeah.
But that's the truth. You know, if you want to do the job properly, you will have such satisfaction, this proper mastery of something. What a great joy out of it, as opposed to if you just, schmooze through things. It's a huge vibrational difference, isn't it?
Yeah, so I can't wait for tomorrow when my book's coming.
Great. So the next 22 days, stage 2 is installation. So it's like a software. Once you've destroyed, made a space, you start installing this new habit, right? Then it gets easier, because first 3 weeks might be a little bit of a sweat to whether get up early or start eating healthfully, whatever. Your body has been used to something else. So now you're installing, right? And once you have done that, you're integrating, because you need to introduce it into your life, right? So it's like, say you're learning the software, right?
Yeah, definitely. It just takes practice.
Yeah. So this is the book, 5 a.m. Club. Have a read. I recommend it. I don't necessarily say that this is something that everybody has to do, because it's, as I said, it's for masters. The habits and the protocols that Robin Sharma, actually that's the author, introduces to us, it requires a little bit of a commitment. However, I think everybody would benefit from picking a thing or two from that book. However, because we became, as a society in general, rather lazy. And no offense to my spiritual brothers and sisters, the fact is that a lot of people in spiritual circles, they do suffer from lack of money. They suffer from lack of inspiration, and they think it will just happen. Well, you know what? Thinking so doesn't make it so. You need to also act on your visions, dreams, inspirations, and have some really good, healthy habits, and start best thing in the morning, first thing, right? And do it consistently while you are having the most amazing spiritual life as a human being, right?
Remember Joe's words? You need to do the work.
Joe Dispenza, that's right. I really love it how he says to people, he said, I stopped taking questions from people because every time they ask a question, Dr. Joe, you don't know my situation. And he says, are you doing the work? Oh, but my life. No, are you doing the work? Period. I mean,
yeah.
We came here as human beings to create. We say, okay, the Lovetarian way, let's co-create heaven on earth. It will not just bloom out of our buttholes.
We we want to do the work.
We want to visualize. We want to dream it. Yes, we want to meditate. At the end of the day, we need to embody it. And how do you embody? Well, yeah, very cliche, be the change. So you actually just don't talk about it and don't think about it, do it as well. That's the element, it's like a lot of people were criticizing the film, The Secret, right? Oh, but it's all about, you're sitting and you're getting. I actually don't agree. I thought that there was quite a bit of talking about action, but what do most people hear and then criticize it? Well, it's all about, sitting and dreaming about your Ferrari. No, it's actually about execution as well, but you need to be willing to hear it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you need to act on it. Work.
And also, spirit, inspiration, like quick action. If you get inspired, don't wait, a week, because then it will be gone and you won't do anything.
No, just it's simple. Believe it, act it, feel it, do it. It's like the work. You need to, you want to do the work.
Yeah, and also a lot of people are afraid, but it's like, yeah, it's great to be afraid because you're coming out of your comfort zone. Your comfort zone, as the word applies, is very comfortable. However, if you dare, you will fail, and you will fail 1,050,000 times sometimes. And so what? Then you can say that you had at least done it. If you're going to sit on your butt all your life, what a life. What a life. You come to the end of your life with lots of regrets, right? That's not what we want. That's not what we want.
And the thing is, when people say I failed and it was a mistake and I did it wrong. No, it wasn't. It's again, the way you look at it. It was a lesson of growth because you can turn it around and you won't repeat the lesson again because you already learned it.
It's this famous mantra that we have, I never lose, I either win or I learn. So if you are trying, we don't use the word trying really because trying is not doing. So if you say, I will make it happen, I am willing to make it happen, what a difference as opposed to I'll try. And Cecile, I'm still catching you a lot on trying.
Yes, me too.
Well, it's about awareness and you are aware of it. So that's already a big step, right? I know myself, people. I know when I say I'll try, I may as well just say, no, I'm not doing it. Most of the time when I use the word try, I know what I'm really saying. Yeah.
Again, it's the programming. For me, the words trying, have to, need to, I am not trying, I am changing. And it's those words, I am changing for I want to, I choose to, I'm doing it. Well, even sometimes I catch myself on the fact that I say those words.
Well, again, it's all about change and it's about persistent action, right? Persistent action. And if you're afraid, that's okay. Be afraid. However, do it there. Because just by doing, body in action stays in action. Thoughts in action will give you more action. It's just simple law of physics. That's just how it is. Thinking about it, sometimes just sitting and thinking about it, unless you're a philosopher and that's the way you live and write books about it, well, awesome. But most of us are not. We're just thinking and we get ourselves going, oftentimes negatively, because there's not enough action. So there has to be balance, right? Between thinking and doing. There has to be action. And when you get this inspired idea, just go for it. So let's sum up, because we're coming on to half an hour. It doesn't take long for us. Empowering morning Lovetarian habits. Just few little, pointers. Never snooze in the morning. You wake up, you out of bed. I'm not telling you that you have to get up in the middle of the night. Not probably beneficial, because the body would very much use 7.5 hours of sleep. That is perfect. Then you get all the cycles you need to get in, and you're going to be very rejuvenated. But unless you're super tired, normal human being doesn't need much more than that, because then you're going to be extra tired. If you sleep too long, you're going to be extra tired. If you're snoozing, stop it, because your brain is dying and you are actually making yourself more tired. So if people were to commit, to one thing today, it would be to get up in the morning when they wake up, when the alarm rings and they had the 7 hours of sleep. And actually, if you have problems sleeping, if you would start that, your body will regulate, and you will, after a while, you will start waking up regularly, right? So again, it's a habit you need to develop. If you have trouble sleeping, if you are not really balanced, maybe you're lying there all night long, then I would encourage you to maybe go for a walk or something. Don't just lie there. Maybe start journaling or creating, if that's what you need to do, right? But ideally, a healthy body means like you have to go with the cycles. It gets dark, you go to bed, right? You don't stare 2 hours before you go to bed. Ideally, you shouldn't be staring at your computer, at your phone. All this radiation is not very good for you. It stops the production of melatonin in your brain, and that is what you need to actually sleep properly, right? So I'll say, read this. There's a lot of good stuff there. But one empowering habit, people, honestly, wake up the moment you wake up and build that habit for the next 3 months or 66 days, and then tell me how you're feeling, because I already feel a huge difference after 2 weeks.
I will share a photo of the book.
What have you got?
No, we'll share a photo of the book.
No, one morning habit for people to implement. I say to get up like that. And what about you?
I would say exercise. That's what I'm doing as well, exercising.
Not
first thing in the morning, but I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, you're gonna do your best. If people are
first thing in the morning.
Yeah, if people are going to read the book, they will find out why. If you want to lower your stress hormones, you need to get your body sweating first thing in the morning, not much longer than 20 minutes. If you want to, go for it, but it's not required. So I would say do those two things, right? Wake up and just start exercising, and then go into your other practices, whether it's spirituality, growth, meditation. Do it for a month and tell us how you feel. I would be very, very interested to hear if somebody dares to do it. And if you need the justification because you're a lazy little bum, read that book. As Cecile said, very successful people do that. And of course, it depends on the definition of success. I don't suppose that Dalai Lama does that first thing in the morning, but he certainly would be getting up early in the morning. Ask Tony Robbins, I think he might be doing that. And I know he also takes cold showers. So, right? It all depends on what we want, but for sure, everybody is getting up before they have all the distractions out there. And nobody's snoozing, because that is really not good for the brain.
No, completely agree with that.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up with a few little advices. It's plural or is it singular? With a little advice. That's easier. I just made it easy. And guys, please share, right? Cecile, share, give hearts, thumbs up, invite people to this group. Let's build this movement. Let's spread love and light and inspired action. As we said, we don't just want people to be thinking about it. We want them to implement, right?
Definitely. And just if you have any questions, always ask them us. And you can go to the units, have so many amazing lives to discover over there with other topics. And yes, please share everything, because we want to help everyone to share and shine their light.
Yes, if you want interested in shining your light and having a great life, I'm very, very sure that what we have recorded up to now will really help you in some way. I mean, for sure. There's an abundance of information out there. And we're just two girls who happen to really want to share that message with the world. And we are not, I mean, of course, everybody is unique and extraordinary. However, we have created the lives that we live and we love them. So
Definitely.
what else do you want from life, right? If not to love it.
And one extra thing, Natalia made an amazing meditation, and she shared this also in the group. But please, if you want to have the audio, just send your email to us and we can send it to you.
It's called Heaven on Earth meditation, yeah?
Yes.
Perfect. So now this will go to Unit 13. Unit 13 is the unit where all the videos of Cecile and myself are there. Up until then, it's lives that I was doing by myself. But if you like to have a little dynamic discussion between us, then tune into Unit 13. And yeah, they are independent of each other, so you don't need to watch in order. But if you would like to know more about the Lovetarian way and the pillars of the Lovetarian way, then you want to start at the beginning, because I'm explaining a little bit more about it. Cool? So,
yes.
Lovetarians, you have a fabulous day. We are certainly going to continue with a productive morning. It's 11:30 here. No, it's 12. So noon is upon us now. And yeah, weekend is coming soon, so have a great one. And we'll see you. Have a good one, guys. Love and light.